The Witch's Dream Book and Fortune Teller by A. H. No. Part 13. Predictions of the weather, atmospheric changes, etc. Should the horizon in the north wear a ruddy appearance in the evening, stormy and boisterous weather may be expected. If the clouds in the south are ruddy in the evening, sunshiny and rainy weather will prevail for some time afterward. When the face of the moon is partially obscured by a light, thin vapor, rain will shortly follow. When the rays from the sun at midday are more than ordinarily dazzling, rainy weather will shortly succeed. In summertime, when the swallows fly near to the ground, rainy weather will assuredly soon follow. The shrill crowing of a cock during rainy weather is a sign that drought will speedily prevail. When the smoke from the chimney falls down toward the ground, instead of rising upward, it is a sign that rainy weather will soon follow. If on a foggy morning in summer the fog rises upward, it will be a fine day. If the fog falls to the ground, it will be wet. When, in summertime, you see the cattle grazing in a field gathering together in groups, be assured that a thunderstorm is approaching. When you see the fowls in a farmyard flocking together under some covert, be assured that ungenial weather is about to succeed. When the crows, in flying over your head, make an extraordinary and discordant cawing, rain will come on shortly. When you see your dog or cat more than ordinarily restless, frisking about the house in all directions, be assured that some boisterous weather will shortly follow. In rainy weather, when you hear the chirping of the sparrows on the housetop more shrill than usual, it is a sign that clear and dry weather will quickly succeed. When you see a vapory fluid resting upon a stagnant pool in the forepart of the day, you may conclude that rainy weather will shortly come on. Should the vapor ascend and clear away, a continued drought may be anticipated. In summer, when the atmosphere is dense and heavy, and there is scarcely a breath of air, be assured that a thunderstorm is coming on. When the firmament is lighted up with meteoric phenomena, such as falling stars, globes of fire, changeable and boisterous weather may be expected to prevail. When the rising sun appears like a solid mass of fervent heated metal, and no rays appear to emanate therefrom, fine and dry weather may be confidently anticipated. When the sun sets in a halo of ruddy brightness, genial and bright weather may be fully relied on for the coming day. When the moon appears of a ruddy hue, stormy and boisterous weather may be expected to follow. When the stars appear of a sparkling brightness, fine and genial weather may be expected to prevail for some time. Should the stars appear obscure and dim, changeable and rainy weather may be anticipated. The luminous appearance of the aurora borealis, or northern lights, in the firmament, foretells the approach of stormy and boisterous weather. When the setting sun, in the autumn or winter seasons, appears ruddy, it is a sign that high and boisterous winds may be expected to blow from the north and northwest. When the sun at its rising, in the autumn or winter seasons, appears ruddy, it foretells that high and boisterous winds may be anticipated to blow from the south and southeast. When seabirds are observed flocking toward the shore, storms and tempests may be confidently expected. When in the early autumn season the migratory birds are seen flocking together and taking their departure, it is a certain sign that rough and boisterous weather is approaching and that a severe winter may be anticipated. When the doves around a dovecot make a more than ordinary cooing, and frequently pass in and out of their cote, it is a sign that a change of weather is near. When the robin approaches your habitation, it is a sign that wintry weather will shortly prevail. When there is a thick vapory mist resting on the tops of high hills in the morning and remains there during the day, it is a sign that wet and ungenial weather may be anticipated. Should the mist eventually rise upward and be evaporated by the sun's rays, a return to fine dry weather may be looked for. If, however, the mist falls down into the valley, a continuation of wet weather will prevail. If, in taking a walk, you should see a single magpie, it is a bad omen, especially if it should fly past you to the left hand. But, if it should pass you to the right hand, the good will counterbalance the bad. Should you see two magpies together, expect to hear of something to your advantage, a proposal of marriage, if single, or a legacy of money bequeathed to you. Should the magpies fly past you together, to your right hand, your own marriage, or the marriage of someone nearly related to you, will occur in a short time. The seeing of several magpies together is considered a very fortunate omen. May is considered an unlucky month to marry in. Therefore avoid doing so if possible. If you can catch a snail by the horns on the 1st of May and throw it over your shoulder, you will be lucky throughout the year. If you place one on a slate on that day, it will describe by its turnings the initials of your future partner's name. If a young man or young woman, on going up a flight of stairs, should stumble in the middle of the flight, it is a sign that his or her marriage will take place in a short time. If the stumbling should be near the top of the stairs, then his or her marriage will be immediately consummated. If a marriage procession, on proceeding to church or chapel, should happen to meet a funeral procession, it is considered an unlucky omen to the expectant bride. If, on returning after the solemnization of the rite, a funeral procession should pass the bridal party, it is an unfavorable sign to the bridegroom. If a young person, when seated at the tea table, should observe one or more stalks of the tea plant in the newly poured out cup, and if, on stirring the tea and holding the spoon in the middle of the liquid, the stalk or stalks should come close to the spoon handle, it is a token that he or she will be soon married. When the house dog is unusually restless, and howls dismally in the night time, it is a sign that sickness and death are about to visit the family to whom the dog belongs. When the wick of your candle shows a bright spark in the midst of the flame, it is a sign that a long-absent friend is about to visit you. When the ribs of your fire grate are more than usual covered with flakes of soot, it is a sign that a stranger is about to visit your habitation. Thus concludes Part 13 of The Witch's Dream Book and Fortune Teller. Coming up in this series, Part 14, Divination by the Birds of the Air and the Beasts of the Field. Stay tuned for more additions to the Weird Audiobooks YouTube library. And if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing.